Good morning, everybody. We are back here at the trailhead after our hike-cation. We are here after resupplying back in Roanoak with all of our goodies on the road. Didn't get a chance to put them in our pack before we got picked up for our ride. So here's the resupply. Got a few bits and pieces. Had to unpeel my bananas so I could give my rubbish to the shuttle driver. He kindly took it with. Ryzen's got his stuff there. Looking forward to my honey buns for breakfast. There goes our shuttle driver. And we will be starting very shortly. Heading north this time. Today's walk is started off very pretty with all this moss along the side of the trail. It's also nice that the trees are a bit more open. Getting a bit of a peek of the sky now that the sprinkles have stopped. It was raining a little bit before. First views of the day. It's quite humid as well, a bit warmer hiking, a bit more sweaty. There's a very pointy mountain over there. So we just stopped in at Cove Mountain Shelter for a spot of afternoon lunch. It's about 3:30. We've got about another 7 miles to go till we get to the next shelter where we think we'll stop for the day. So there's a big climb out of there tomorrow, which looks like it'll take us all day. So it might be a good place to stop tonight before then. It is so lovely and quiet out here, especially after being in the city for the weekend. I don't realise just how peaceful you feel on the trail and less stressed. Although it was nice to have a shower 3 days in a row and sleep in a real bed. But still, really did feel like we were coming home today onto the trail. Yeah. So very happy to be back out here. This here is Jennings Creek. It's 6:30. We're still hiking along. It's coming down quite a big hill. Next stop will be the shelter where we may stay for the night, or we might decide to go on, but we'll see. It's very dim down here in the valley, given we've still got about 2 hours of sunlight ahead of us. Seems to be a few damp water sources, but not much where you can collect water from. But as I say that, there's a little bit of a stream over there. So the rain in the last couple of days may have filled things up a bit more. Funny little conifery things on the ground that I've been seeing for quite a few hundred miles now. Really cool looking, like a little ground cover. Good morning, everybody. It is 5 to 6. We actually managed to get up at 5 a.m. for the first time, so we could get an early start today. We have got a very long uphill. It is 7 kilometres, and that takes us to the first little rest, and then we've got more uphill. We were aiming for about 20 today, but don't know how that'll go with the uphill, but we thought we'd try the super early morning start to see if it makes any difference to get this over with before it gets too hot. Beautiful morning light. Just a minute ago I could hear a noise up a tree. It sounded like a mini carpenter Didn't sound like the normal woodpecker sound. It sounded like somebody like dusting a mat or something, a rug, and then banging on like a nail. So we made it up the first section of the uphill today, 5 miles from Bryant Ridge Shelter, and we've made it to Cornelius Creek Shelter in about 2 hours and 40 minutes, so feeling pretty good about that. It's time for a break, and I think I'm going to make myself a coffee because I haven't had one yet today. Spiders come out to say hello.
More work from it. Long and hard. Oh,
just finished our break at the shelter. Had some second breakfast. And now we're going to do part 2 of the climb. Very pretty sea of green all the way across the mountain. I just came across this little toadstool. It's coming up to Thunderhead Mountain.
Isn't it beautiful up here? Oh my goodness.
So there's some kind of radar system up here. I think it might be flight radar. It used to be top secret in Cold War. And the AT used to go somewhere else apparently. Thunder Ridge Wilderness, and still in the Jefferson National Forest, which feels like it has been months. Here we are at the guillotine. Can we go through?
The guillotine.
We're here at the Thunder Hill Shelter for some lunch. So it's 4:30. I've been on trail for 10.5 hours and we're still about 7 miles until we plan to camp. So feeling a little bit sleepy after our early start. But I think this is the last of the longer uphills for today. This one's about 1 mile. And I will be very happy when it's over and we start going downhill. So it's 6 o'clock and we decided that we would pull up for camp here at Marble Spring rather than hike on the extra 2 or 3 hours to the next campsite, especially because this one's got water. Quite a few flat spots, quite long grass in some places though. A little bit nervous about the logs around my tent because last night at the Bryant something or other shelter we saw a copperhead just close to the shelter there, and it was really hard to see, so was not sure whether to tap my trekking poles on the logs to see if anything came out, but thought better of it that if there was something there I probably wouldn't want to see it, given that if it was a snake it would, then I'd know it was there and be hanging around all night. So rather not know if there's one around. Probably did about 17 miles today, which was short of what we thought we'd do, but still really happy with that because given it was mostly uphill and some steep downhills. And tomorrow the part that we haven't done is all downhill, so we'll do that in the morning and then probably head into Glasgow.